Meeting today is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021, and it's 5:45 p.m. I call this meeting to order. It's 6:30, and we'd like to thank you to the Montezuma County Clerks for your work on the city elections. Linda, do you want to? Yeah, please come up.
Oh yeah, it's a workshop, not a special meeting. I don't know if it's workshop / special.
Workshop?
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Council. I would like to introduce to you the 3 county clerks that help with the municipal elections. They've been helping for quite some time, and I wanted to bring them to thank them in front of you so that you can meet them. We all 4 went to the county commissioner meeting and had a thank you with them as well. So we all wanted to come and have you meet them. I feel honored to stand with them and work with them. They do all the work. And I'm very thankful for what they do for us and that we have such a great interaction with each other. Kim and I attended a class last year for the state, for all the city clerks in Durango. Well, it's been 2 years ago. And we had a class that we talked about the relationship that we have here, because a lot of communities don't have what we have. And we shared what is offered here with the interaction and the work that's done together. And people were very surprised and envious that they don't have that. So I would like to introduce Miranda Warren. This is Lynn Dorenkamp, and I think many of you know Kim Purcell, but I wanted them to come.
So Miranda is our election supervisor, and Lynn is our chief deputy. And they're the ones that run the municipal elections. They program the elections, they program the ballots, and they're the ones that train the judges and take care of all of the election process.
Right.
So.
Thank you. Several of the county members or council members were invited to a dry run on the counting for the ballots, and it's very informative. And we realized how very secure our election system is. There's cameras, and people are not allowed in the room alone. And there's always a second person involved, and very highest amount of security you could imagine. So we want to thank you for making our elections so very secure and safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
So one other thing I wanted to mention to you is that we have the same collaboration with all 3 of the municipalities. And what I've learned in elections is it's who's standing beside you through the whole process that makes the process work. And I'm proud to be standing with these municipal clerks and these 2 ladies.
Right.
Just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
Okay. See, the next item on the agenda, let's see, we're going to introduce 2 new city employees, but I'm not sure if they're here yet. We'll skip on to the 3rd item on the agenda, discussion on quotes for NACE inspection RFQ, regular agenda number 7A. Director of Public Works, Phil Johnson. Good evening, Phil.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing? As I briefly spoke about this at the last council meeting when we pulled this agenda item because of an email that you received from a vendor, I wanted to, give you I wanted to explain to you why we rejected the bid and how it happened. Because as it stands, I gave a brief explanation in the last meeting that I'm still going to reject the bid, but I just didn't feel it was fair to say offhand that we're just going to reject it without you guys getting the backup, because you were engaged by the person who was not getting allowed to submit their bid. So our advertisements clearly state that we should receive a bid on a date and a time. received. We are not the IRS. It doesn't need to be a postage stamp sent on April 15th. By midnight, it's okay. They have to be in our hands by the time. And this one was 2 p.m. on June 16th, 2021. And what was different about this bid was that we did it electronically to expedite the process because the inspection services was not kept in the forefront when we started this project. And so this was the first time we did an electronic bid of this type, and generally we would get a sealed envelope that would go to the front desk where we immediately stamp received, time and datum. And we would have brought those into the bid opening, and anything after, any bids that were received and stamped after the time, the deadline, we would not even open them. We would send them back and reject them and they would show that it was received after the deadline. Now, and that's what happened here. We have Bill Coons in the audience, and he, we have the documentation. We have the email that says we received it at 2:17. Even though it was sent at 2 o'clock with 0 seconds. So it seems like it would be a scheduled send where you'd go into an email and say send at this time, and it absolutely sent at 2 p.m. with no minutes and no seconds. And then it gets held up in servers. I can get an email across the city from one of our team, and I'm on the phone with them, and they'll send it to me, and I won't get it for a couple minutes, 3 minutes, and it's just across town because it has to go through servers and filters and have the content checked. So that's where we are on this. And I'm sure you all have questions about, the email and the monetary amount that was in there that we would not even see if this was a normal bidding process. It would be a closed and sealed bid until we all sit in the room, we fill out a form, and then we start opening them. So I feel very confident that we can withstand, scrutiny and inspection on this process. I feel absolutely confident. If I didn't, I would not be coming forward to you in this manner tonight. So we are going to be moving forward during the regular council agenda as previously in the other previous meeting, although we did on this new memo put S&S in the bids received and say it just says rejected because it was too late. So I am open to any and all questions that you may have.
My only question is just about process for electronic bids in the future. Are you considering any policy around how to, basically to make it clear for a situation like this going forward to the bidders, or we're doing new stuff and we just have to figure out a way to make sure that we're following what our process is?
Aside from the advertisement, I think we could just say this is received. We can do an electronic identification, or if I have my druthers, we'll never do this again. I'll just stick with paper sealed bids from now on to forego any of this angst that we're dealing with right now. Okay. Although with Drew's help and support, we're able to continue with our project going up until this point. So we're still moving forward with our tank inspection services and the tank rehabilitation at the water plant.
Phil, I totally, completely support the idea that it came later after 2, because I think that is a really slippery slope. And I think as much as we might be worried about repercussions from someone on the other end saying, look, I sent it at 2, it says 2 o'clock, I would also be worried about the other companies finding out that we accepted a bid after that period of time. So I'm absolutely in full support of that. I do have kind of a side question. It's really more of a curiosity, I guess. Was the bid complete? Did you take a look at it even though it was late?
Well, I was on vacation. I was not in there. The engineers after the fact looked at it and they did not feel like they could meet the QA/QC testing at that price point. One of the companies considered is local, so the overhead of per diem, travel time, and all that is not even in their bid. And they were significantly, not significantly, they were higher. They were somewhere in the middle range. But my engineering team felt like they were, meeting all the needs for the quality control and quality assurance testing, as well as being on site. There's a lot of testing and visual observation that has to go when you're, you're blasting metal to a white, so you can prime it. You can't have any oxidation whatsoever on it. And it's really important that we have, on time, on site, and really attentive inspection services. So this, we're spending $1 million on these 2 tanks to get them recoated, and we want them to last as long as we can. And this right now is the preparation and the primer coating is, it's key to everything. If that's not done properly, it will fail.
Thank you.
I don't have any.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just going to bring up again the discussion around, or like the agenda item for the tree commission. Do we have that scheduled in the near future, or is that still like kind of up in the air?
For the tree commission, is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, just like to have it as an agenda item for us to vote whether or not to separate it out from the Parks and Recreation Board.
Well, council member, I'm not sure if I missed something, but that has not crossed my desk. But I'm happy to look into it, and we will get that on for next meeting, if that's the case. But I will wait till Dean gets back from vacation, and then we will get that squared away.
Okay, thank you.
We're not sure what happened there. They did not come, so I'm not sure why.
Will we have the people from the Arts Committee here tonight? I think that, I see Skyly out there, so I think Brenda invited them all to be here. Yeah, and did you want to talk about the terms in the regular meeting then?
Yeah, okay, they're like...